Hello, everybody. My name is and I'm a meditation teacher, spiritual mentor, and a hypnosis practitioner. And in this video, I'd like to share some insights on how meditation can help us center and what that means. So, first of all, we all realize that we have a balance inside and that there are events in our life, sometimes external, most of the times external, sometimes internal, that trigger us to get off balance. And we kind of know when we're off balance. We may not recognize it exactly in that moment, but we do know that there is a balance. We do know that we lose that balance. So meditation is a systematic way of going back to balance, of moving from a state in which we might have been triggered in our emotions and our thought patterns, and go back to a place where we are balanced and centered. Now, the first benefit of being centered is that we can see things clearly, because our center is like a place of overview, while a place of imbalance is like a place that is more superficial, more away from this place of overview. So when we are imbalanced, we are also short-sighted. It means we are inside an area that is removed from the center and from which we can only see things according to that area. So not only are we, for example, upset or, whatever the negative emotion might be, but we're also not clear on what's going on. And we think we are, but we're not, because we can only see things from the point of view of that small area in which we find ourselves removed from the center. So what meditation does as a first thing with regards to recentering is that from where we are unbalanced, we start to realize that we've moved away, and we start to observe what is happening. And as we observe it, automatically we're shifting back to center. And as we come closer to the center, now we are going to see that state of imbalance much more clearly from what it is from the outside, and other things are going to start to come into our view. Things, other points of view that are different from the triggered state, from the imbalanced state. So we start to become wiser, more balanced, and detached in a spiritual point of view, which means we're not attached to what is going on in their particular thought pattern, that particular emotion. So this is one aspect of being centered. The other aspect of being centered that we find through meditation is peace. So while these different trigger states of, let's say, somebody says something to me, got really angry or upset, or another thing happens, or I see something on television and it makes me question my self-worth and I become sad. All of these things that throw us off balance have particular emotions associated. And some of these things might not be classed as negative emotions necessarily. You could feel euphoria or super excitement and still fall off balance. But when you move towards the center, the effect is peace. In this balanced center, the main feeling and emotion that stems and is tied into balance is peace. And so we recognize our state of centeredness also through peace. And peace for, especially for those who may have not meditated or experienced this clearly in their life yet, is not boring. Peace is almost like a never-changing state of, of bliss when it's profound. And it is a state from which, as humans, we can decide to move out or fall. But when we decide that, we do it in a much more balanced way, rather than it being a trigger that carries us into a certain state. We decide more consciously to try that, to look in that point of view, to emerge ourselves. And the third benefit or aspect of being recentered is that we become much more in control of our life, because we are not dragged necessarily from superficial points of imbalance given by triggers, but we have this home place to come back to that gives us this visual from which we can choose. So meditation, which can be as easy as sitting and observing your breath, and may not feel like a lot, may not feel like you're doing a lot, has these profound aspects that get developed over time in their simplicity.